Yo, 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 what's going on out there, everybody? Truckin Chubbzy up in this drum, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. It's time to get busy with it. Copyright statute, Copyright Act up there, 1976, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Y'all see it up there. Just play that for a little quick second before we get up in the show. So, real quick, I ain't. It's not gonna be a long show today, man. It's not gonna be long. Just wanted to jump on and just talk about a couple of things, man. The things that are sweeping the sports media right now. The hit that took place yesterday. I've been talking about these hits, man. These targeting versus helmet to helmet hits, man, because it's important with football right now, man. Like, I don't know what is going on in football as of right now, man, and why it's going on, but I'm gonna get a commentary after I play this hit, man. Let me see if I can get this hit played real quick for y'all. Play this hit real quick, and then then we'll get back right back into it, man. Play it for y'all real quick. Just watch the hit, then I'll play something else. This, yeah, that hit right here, this hit right here is called, supposed to be a roughing the passer penalty. I'm letting it play a couple of times for y'all so y'all can see it, you know what I'm saying? Let it run a couple of times and I'll go ahead and I'll take it off. But look, that is not roughing the passer. The league is getting softer and softer. We already know what time it is, and I don't think and I heard a lot of good opinions on this too from a lot of pro football players, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of great opinions, and I rock with, and the one I heard the most that I agree with the most is that football is taking a bad turn for the worse and with its brand. And its brand, like, you know what I'm saying, what do I mean by that, right? The brand of football is a physical sport, right? You know what I mean? Football is a very physical sport. And and with that being said, it being a physical sport and everything, you're gonna have hits, and you know what I mean, sometimes players are gonna get hurt because of hits, you know what I'm saying? And I understand they're trying to protect people and everything, but like that, people don't want to watch that. We don't want to watch pro football and support that to be watching. It's like, you know what I mean, you're not going to be able to charge people hundreds of dollars to come watch a game, $100 just to get in a nosebleed seat to come support their team, to come watch a flag football game, a two-hand touch game. We know what football is from the time that we're little, 5 years old, up until all the way we're up to, grown men. We know that it's a physical sport. You know what I mean? That's why some people normally drop out of football when it comes to the high school, college level of football. They're done with that. You know what I mean? You get a lot of people that play high school football that won't play college. You know what I mean? You get some people who play all the way up till high school and then they don't play high school because of the physicality of the game. You know what I'm saying? And we know this coming into the sport, we still love it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to do that, to me personally, if they're going to do that, I believe they definitely need to pay players 100% of their contract. Why are you getting into that? But I do think that this is a way that they want to cut the pay. They want to protect the players more so that they save more money, so they don't have to give guaranteed contracts. See, it's all about the bottom line, and that's what I think this is getting into when it's all said and done, regardless of if you're doing that or not. Regardless of doing that or not, you know what I'm saying, they're still going to get hit. You know what I mean? You want safeties and cornerbacks to hit and linebackers to hit receivers, below the waist and not above the waist when they're cutting across the middle, and someone's knees get blown out for the whole season because they just took a hit, running full speed. That's not good neither. And I think it's always about the bottom line. I think this is the bigger picture with this whole thing going on. It's a way for them to try to save money and not pay players guaranteed contracts, saying, air quotes, they're protecting the players more. You know what I'm saying? I think this is the way that they're trying to do that. But it's not. It's what it's gonna do. It's gonna affect the fans watching the game and the love for the game, and you're gonna get more people tuning in to college and not wanting to watch pro football, and it's gonna affect the brand of the National Football League. I think so. In the end of the day, you know what I mean? Especially with college football having the playoff system coming in, and that's going to be watched a lot. You know what I mean? Like everybody's tuning in to college football now. It's just more exciting right now. Hopefully they fix the targeting and helmet to helmet calls. But I've been talking about the hits and everything that these referees are doing, and it's just horrible because that was a fair sack, and that play winds up becoming a roughing a passer penalty. Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? There's always some new rules when it comes to New England for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. The first time that we ever seen a call getting placed upon a quarterback, and he's one of the greatest quarterbacks we've seen, if not the greatest, and Tom Brady. Ray Lewis put the hit on Tom Brady. That changed football for quarter. That changed the whole hitting. That's when it started. That's when it all started. When Ray Lewis hit Tom Brady in New England, Ravens versus the Patriots, it changed the whole trajectory of the sport. But I think that's what it is, and I'm gonna come with more and more on that. I'm looking more to more depth, and I might make a whole 10-minute video just based upon that and that alone, though. You know what I'm saying? So I want to keep it moving on to the next topic. And the next thing that I got today for y'all is this whole it's Caleb Williams thing, man. Oh, man, they getting at your boy bad, man. They getting at Caleb Williams pretty bad, man. They are. If y'all didn't know, Caleb Williams was crying on the football field, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play it for y'all a couple of times and let it go through and let y'all get your own opinion for it. So I got it pulled up here. Let it play real quick, and let y'all see it. So he jumps in the stands. He's crying to his mom. You can see he's really like crying, like, you know what I mean? Body convulsions, crying like that in public, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know a lot of people attack this and said, it looks soft as shit and everything else like that, but grown men cry too, man. And there ain't nothing wrong with crying, man. There ain't nothing wrong with crying. Like, the one thing that I can honestly say about this situation and this right here is that we need to stop having this whole thing of grown men shouldn't cry and it being unacceptable, because we need to deal with our emotions more and deal with our emotions, you know what I mean? We need to be able to deal with them emotions more like that, and being in public like that. Like, I think the scrutiny around it, let me get this right real quick, because I'm going a little backwards, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. I think the whole scrutiny of this, and the criticism was with RG3. I guess he posted Max Duggan crying and was talking about said other things, and then he posted Caleb Williams and was looking for sympathy. I think that's where everybody's going with it. However, I want to get away from that whole thing, and because I didn't say nothing about Max Duggan. I think that everybody cries whether they win championships, whether they lose championships, whether you lose important games or whether you win important games. The emotion takes you over, and there's nothing wrong with crying and showing your emotion on the football field, right? There's not. Because you get to act on that, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to be angry on a football field. Take that out on the opposing team, though, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to show emotion, but keep your emotion in check, you know what I'm saying? Knowing who you are as a man is important, because we get caught with these stigmas and stuff like that, saying that we can't cry and we shouldn't cry because it looks soft. That's the problem with things, you know what I'm saying? That's why you get these overly young tough guys, these young men that do not know how to deal with that, and they want to persona saying I can't cry, but I'm in my feelings because of this person, and try to say, and instead of telling that person, look man, what you said that was uncalled for, had me feeling some kind of way or whatever else it is, they gonna pull out a gun, prove a point, and they gonna kill a person or stab a person or cause bodily harm to that person. And then now we saying, well, what happened? Because he wasn't trying to show his emotion. He was in his feelings, but he couldn't express his emotions, because the stigma with a man is if you're crying or if you're showing emotion, then you're soft. But then we say that we don't want violence. We can't have it both ways. We cannot have this thing both ways. You know what I'm saying? Either gonna let us men deal with our emotions and show our emotions no matter where we're at and no matter what kind of setting we are, or you're going to accept an emotional man making rash decisions such as hurting people or doing anything else. Now, instead of crying to his mom and looking at his mom and like, Mom, I just need a shoulder to cry on. I love you so much. I worked so hard for this game. If Caleb Williams just would have grabbed his helmet and was crying and smacking the shit out of people on the opposing team in the head, cracking their heads open because he's feeling that same emotion, that same hurt, and he wants to take it out on the opposing team, then we'll be talking about, oh, he's some type of this person or that kind of person or whatever else it is. So we cannot have it both ways, y'all. We cannot have it both ways. We just can't. Period. We got to stop that. We have to stop that as men and stop telling people, our young men that they cannot express themselves, because if they're not expressing themselves like that, I'd rather much see him cry on his mom's shoulder in public and take whatever memes or whatever's going on than Caleb Williams to run to his locker and then say, I'm just gonna pop Michael Penny. He played a better game than me. He took my team out. Punk, punk. Then y'all be saying something totally different. We cannot have it both ways. We can't. Let men deal with their emotions the way that they need to let their emotions out. If you feel like crying in the middle of the grocery store, cry in the middle of the grocery store. If you feel like you need to hug your wife, you know what I'm saying? Hug your wife. If you feel like you need to hug your kids, cry on your kid's shoulder. Let your boys know that it's okay to cry, because that emotion and that stigma, that is the problem. That's soft shit. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not, bro. It's not. Especially if you are okay and you know who you are as a man. You know what I'm saying? Period. I'd rather stop saying that. Stop. It does not make you less of a man for crying. You know what I'm saying? It don't. But what? So what? Does it make a more of a man instead of crying and hurting other people and cracking other people's heads open? Because to be honest, would you have a problem with that? Would you have a problem with him being hurting people instead of crying? Would you have a problem with, what would he be then if he just started busting people's heads open on Washington because he lost the game and he was so emotional about the game the way he loves it? How would y'all feel then? What would y'all be saying about the man now? That's what I'm saying. We gotta have it. We can't have it both ways, man. And I think emotional man is one of the worst men to deal with. And when you looking at this, there's three things that I was taught growing up not to mess with a man, right? And I think this is pretty much jail rules, right? You learn in some jail, prison, wherever, you know what I'm saying? You don't mess with a man's woman, you don't mess with a man's money, and you don't mess with a man's food. Those are three things that have a man emotional. And I mean, you could get the softest person in the neighborhood or whatever, but if they're emotional and you don't know how an emotional man will react, that's why we have to be able to outsource our emotions. We have to be able to let those emotions out and not have a stigma on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I very much rather see a grown man cry than watch another man die, because that's the only time you really see other men cry is when other grown men die. But if we ain't letting the grown men cry, then you will see more grown men die. So which one do we want, y'all? We can't keep getting stuck in the past. We're moving in the future. But I'm not gonna stay on that too much longer. You know what I mean? I love all, all the stuff that's going on. So I made a tweet, and I want to talk about my tweet that I had made. I had made a quick little video about Matt McChesney from in going to Colorado and consulting the offensive line. And even though I know a lot of people have seen it because obviously I tagged them in it. People just overlooking it. I'm not a big name. I'm not some huge podcaster right now, and that's understandable. And a lot of people, I know they seen it, but it's going around and it's circulating. I got a lot of views on TikTok. Shout out to TikTok for that. But people are actually like, yo, this actually might work. You know what I'm saying? For for the offensive line and everything, and the offense, because of the problems. That's the only thing going on with Colorado. But this is why I'm bringing it back up again. And it's circulated around and it's going around, and it may even work. It may work. We might see something in the works with that. We really, I'm hoping that may happen. He has a slew of offense and defensive linemen, which he calls the Dungeon Family. Shout out to them, that are all around the country. You know what I'm saying? And playing football, and they're doing fairly well for their teams. So shout out to them. CJ Stroud, man, excellent football player, man. Doing great out there on the field, man. Looking so good. 5 touchdowns, 470 yards in a pro game, breaking records out there, man. I did not call that. I did not think he was going to be able to pull that off against the Buccaneers. So I was wrong on that. And now, look, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. That's why I call them not my NFL picks. You know what I'm saying? But CJ Stroud proving everybody wrong with this whole Ohio State cannot produce quarterbacks thing. I think that, rest in peace to Wayne Haskins for the, he was going to be the future of the Steelers right now. He'd be having us cooking right now, looking crazy right now, because he was about to come into his own. You know what I'm saying? He really was. And CJ Stroud is proof of that. You know what I'm saying? CJ Stroud he's taking the NFL by storm, man. And I hope that he continues on doing this. And I told y'all that it was going to be like this. I did say that CJ Stroud was a beast. I did say this now. And, yeah, I'm just not one just jumping on the bandwagon or whatever, you know what I'm saying, of CJ Stroud, but because I've been talking about him since the beginning of the season, before the beginning of the season. If people have been following me since then, I've said that CJ Stroud was going to be the best rookie quarterback in the NFL. I did call that. And a lot of my stuff is just the eye test, just seeing what they're doing in college at that level. And he did not scramble a lot like how college quarterbacks, they use their legs a whole lot. They rely on their legs a whole lot in college. CJ Stroud actually worked on becoming a pocket passer, and it has helped him tremendously in the NFL. And he still can scoot. That is the thing. Like, he is really a pocket. Like, he really stays in the pocket, but he can run. Like, he can run, and he can run well. Like, and it's crazy, man, that he's still doing it like that. So big shout out to him, man. The Bills took a L to the Bengals, man. I didn't see that coming. But however, like I said, it's November football. Teams want to play their hardest right now to make sure that they're getting good seeds for the playoffs, or they're fighting to get up into the wild card right now. It's do or die football, college level and the pro level right now, all throughout, man, isn't it? And when you see teams like the Eagles playing and the Eagles not losing, man, and the way that the Eagles win, it's like, man, they just look really unstoppable, man. They really do. And maybe the game to the Jets, they just was off that game that day. But I mean, you got to remember that these are all pro teams, man. These are all pro teams. You know what I'm saying, man? They just play so well, man. That unit is just so so glued together. They just all play one sound, and no matter who they bring in, they bring them on board, and they just look so good. And it's like, man, the NFC, the Eagles in the NFC, it's like who the Cowboys was like right there with them. Then you got San Fran, and then you look at other teams around the NFC, and you got like the Lions. Like, who? Like, is the AFC or the NFC the stronger team? Like, really, it's hard to say right now. But I'm gonna get into it and I'm gonna look some more and I'm gonna be bringing some more videos past y'all, man. I wasn't trying to keep y'all that long. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Peace out.